and welcome back to Miss Tabby's Craft Corner. I'm doing an egg carton craft again, and this idea comes from Jumbletree on the internet. So you're going to need an egg carton for this craft. If you have one with pointy dividers, that would be the best. But if you have a flat one, that's going to work too. So what are we making this time? Well, we're not making fish. We're making a chameleon and this cute lizard. They're made very similar. So the first step is painting, and you're going to need paint for that, but you're also going to need, besides egg cartons and paint, you're going to need glue, a Sharpie, and some scissors, and a toilet paper roll. Okay, so let's get started with the chameleon. So for this guy, you're going to need several different paint colors. So, I already got one painted purple. Let's go ahead and paint a couple more. You don't have to paint the inside of your egg carton like with the fish. You're just painting the outside. And because of that, if you want to paint it while the egg carton is still together and then cut it out later, that works fine. So you're probably going to need 12 to 13 for the chameleon to make it egg carton pieces. And you're also going to need some flat pieces to paint and cut out for your feet, your tail, and your crest. So you want to match your tail and your crest to the pieces you're going to be using, and your feet can be whatever color you want. So the lid works best for those parts if you want to go ahead and paint several coats. I've got purple there for my feet. So again, when you're painting, you want to protect your surface. You want to lay down some old newspaper to protect your table. Because for me, I'm a messy painter and I don't want to get on the table. I want to protect that table. Okay, so once you've got all your egg carton pieces painted, you want to go ahead and let that dry overnight so everything is dry when you go ahead and you're ready to assemble it. And assembling is the tricky part. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is cut out your crest and your tail and glue those onto your pieces. So you want to cut out a curve, a shape for your tail. I've already got mine cut out. And then you want to cut out a kind of curved shape for the head. So your long curved piece for your tail and a straight curved piece for your crest. So I went ahead and already glued my tail on to my piece. Then I'm going to go ahead and glue my crest on. Ooh, it might be a little short. Crest onto my head. And because it's a little long on my egg carton piece, I'm going to trim it up a little bit. So I'm going to apply glue here at the bottom and stick it on. Okay, so for this, you want to, after you cut the shapes out of your egg carton, you want to cut off the top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with the rest of my egg carton pieces, because it makes them fit together better. And you want to save 2 of these pieces that you're cutting off and paint them white for your eyes. So your eyes are going to look like this. They're just the tops of the egg carton piece. And then you want to go ahead, and after you paint those pieces white and let them dry, you want to glue them to the side of your egg carton that has your crest. Or if you have googly eyes and want to use those work too. And you also want to use a pen or paint to create that little pupil on your eye. So it looks like a chameleon's head. How cute is that? Okay. Make sure it stands up nice and tall. Let that dry. So you can go ahead and start gluing your pieces together. You want to push them together like this, but you want to apply glue to them. I'm using Elmer's glue, but if you want to use something stronger like hot glue or PVC glue, you can. It's up to you. But if you're using hot glue, please have a parent help you. You don't want to burn yourself. So this is going to be the neck of my chameleon. You just want to push them together. So we're gluing about 6 of these together in one direction, and then we're going to go the opposite direction and glue them together for the tail. But I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting the tops off the rest of these. I'm gonna glue one more on. That will give me the neck part of my chameleon. This part right here. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and trim one of these slightly smaller and flip it the other way. Let's do this one. Never mind, that's too small. Actually, that's the right size. I just put glue on the wrong side. Okay. So we're flipping it. And we're sticking it in and going the other direction. And we want to curve this up to create the tail. Again, I'm going to trim some off of this one. Remember, crafting can be messy, but have fun with it. And if you have to hold it while it dries, that's perfectly fine. If you want to take this moment and glue on the head, go ahead. And I'm just going to hold it for a little bit while the glue all sets and dries. This craft might require a little bit of patience while you wait for the glue to dry. But that's okay, because patience is good character builder. Okay. While it's drying, I'll talk a little bit about making the lizard. So the lizard is pretty much made the same way. You're gonna paint your egg carton. You're gonna let it dry, you're gonna cut it out. You're gonna assemble it the same way. So for this cute guy, the only thing that you need different is the paper towel, the paper tube roll, because that's gonna become the tongue. But I'm gonna go ahead. I've already painted my egg carton lid for the feet. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out while I wait for my chameleon to dry. And this is also gonna be the tail for my chameleon. So for my lizard, I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out. The only real difference between the lizard and the chameleon are the head and the tail, and then you're making a tongue, and the feet are slightly different. Other than that, you're assembling it the same way. You're curving your egg cartons, but you're curving them in a different direction. And your feet are gluing flat instead of standing up. And the feet shape is slightly different. For the chameleon, your feet are going to be more rounded. For the lizard, your feet are going to be long and narrow, and you're going to have more toes. Okay. See the difference? Your lizard foot is going to be longer than your chameleon foot. And then you just want to cut out some toes like this. And you want to make sure all your feet are similar. And you're going to need 4 feet for both your lizard and your chameleon. So for the lizard, the only extra part you have to cut out is the feet and the head. You're cutting the mouth into the head and the tongue. The chameleon, the other extra parts you have to cut out are the tail, the crest, and the feet. But remember, you always kind of want to wait until everything is dry before you start cutting and assembling. Because if not, you're going to get paint everywhere. Remember, crafting doesn't have to be perfect. If you're having fun and it's messy and creative, that's fine. Crafting is all about having fun. It's not necessarily about perfection. Okay, so I have all my feet cut out. And I have my tail cut out. Let's go ahead and cut out my head. So you want a slightly bigger piece for your head. All you're gonna do is flatten it and cut out a little V shape for the mouth. So this is where you're gonna glue your tongue to. Okay, so like this, and you can do the same thing that you did for the chameleon for the eyes. You can cut off the point and paint it white and glue it on, but for my lizard I actually drew on the eyes, so I'm going to do that again. And you can do a plain old pin for that, or a Sharpie. Okay, I'm actually going to go ahead and glue the tongue in. So for the tongue, you're going to need to paint the inside and outside of a toilet toilet paper tube, you're gonna cut it off, just a thin strip. You're gonna cut that strip open, and you're gonna cut a point or a fork into one end. So you have your fork tongue, like that. You're just cutting a little V in it. Then you might wanna curl it around your finger to get that curled lizard tongue. And then you're gonna glue it into that mouth shape you cut. Like that. Then you wanna let that dry. While you're letting that dry, you can either go ahead and assemble your lizard, but I'm gonna see if my chameleon is ready for me to finish it. Okay. And if you need to re-glue some pieces, that's fine. Mine didn't stick the first time. And then for the shape that you're building up in the back, you want to glue about 6 of those to the back side as well. And you might have to trim them a little bit shorter than you did in the front for them to fit. And you want to curve your back side up. I think that's a little short. So, if you want to count 6 carton pieces to the back side of your chameleon, you're more than welcome to. Or if you want to glue it on until it looks good, you can also do that. I think I'm going to eyeball mine, make sure it looks like it's long enough. See how I'm, whoop, that side needs more glue. But see how I'm curving it up, so to make that part for the tail. Okay, I think that is now just about right, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue on my tail section. Just put glue on the inside and stick it on. And then for your feet, you probably want to do this upside down. Flip your chameleon over and right about maybe 4 from your head, put some glue down and glue your legs. So stick your legs up like that, so your chameleon is going to rest on them. And then maybe 3 away from that, you want to put more glue down and glue your back legs on. But I seem to be missing a foot. I don't know where it went. That's strange. Okay, so I'm missing a foot, but you want to glue all 4 feet on. And you probably want to let it dry overnight before you let it rest on your feet. Otherwise it's going to fall apart like mine. But that's how you make your chameleon. Okay, back to the lizard. So, you got all your pieces painted. You got your head, you got your tail, you got your feet. So again, we're gonna cut off the top tips. And it's gonna be, again, 6 to form the body going this way. So you want to start gluing your pieces together after you cut out your top bit, just like the chameleon. But you want, for your lizard, you want to paint it all one color. I chose green. You can do a 5 lizard, that'd be really cool. You can use red or orange for that. I used purple for this tongue and then blue for this. It's all limited by your imagination. Whatever you can imagine, whatever color you want, you can do. But for the lizard look, I went with all one color. I kind of dabbed different green color on that. But instead of like multiple colors like your chameleon. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, glue your pieces of your egg carton together. Again, 6 for the top of the body. Last one. Okay, so that's 6 glued together for the top of the head. If your head is dry, go ahead and glue it onto your body. But I think I'm gonna wait. So, again, you're gonna flip it and do it the other way. And again, if you want to do 6 for the tail, or you want to eyeball it, it's up to you. Again, we're going to curve it, but instead of curving it up, we're going to curve it to the side. Oops, I totally did that wrong. Okay. that piece is no longer usable. Remember, it's not a mistake, it's a design feature. Okay. Now that I've made my correct part, we're gonna flip it around and do it the correct way. Okay. I think I'll do a couple more and then I'll be ready to glue the tail on. Yes, okay. Actually, let's do one more. Okay, so there's our body of our lizard. I'm gonna go ahead and glue my head on now. Whoop. After maybe applying a little more glue to my middle section. Remember, you wanna let this dry overnight before you handle it a lot. So these just really don't want to stay together for me. So all you need now is to glue your feet on. Again, you might want to flip it over. Put glue on the very back point of your feet, small narrow end. Glue them on where you see fit. And there you have your egg carton, chameleon, and lizard friends. That was a lot of fun, even though it was messy and it didn't go exactly as I planned. Isn't he cute? As he loses a foot. So, I want to encourage you, if you make a mess while crafting, please, please, please clean it up after you're done. Don't leave it for your parents. But the important part is having fun while you're crafting, even if things don't come out as you planned. But I hope you have fun with your egg cartons, and I hope you join me next time for Miss Tabby's Craft Corner. Have a good afternoon, guys.